to recycle and let things go in loops. But in nature, it doesn't go in loops like that. It's not like a flower that falls to the ground, comes back as a flower. It just circulates and comes back as something else. It fertilizes the nature. So it all circulates within a huge system, a very complex system, and that's the wonder of nature. So that's the true circularity of wool, is where it starts and where it comes from. So the critics of wool, if you go into life cycle assessments, into tools like heat index or other tools that are trying to tell you what is a sustainable fiber, what should I use, how can I choose a good one, then wool is very often at the bottom. And that is because a life cycle assessment consists of 4 indicators, and it's mathematic, it's based upon industry, so it's made for industrial systems, where it's about being efficient. You can be efficient and make tons of polyester in a very small amount of space, while sheep are out in huge areas of land, and that is what they are being criticized for. But this is land that you cannot grow anything else on, so this is it's very unfair, those kind of ratings that you get. Another thing is also the methane or the carbon emissions from sheep when they are pooing, which is natural part of the cycles as well. And they are, the methane is a gas emission that is broken down over like 12 years, while carbon dioxide, which comes from often from fossil industry, needs hundreds of years to break down. So the discussions are much more complex and much more versatile than just claiming that wool is bad because it uses a lot of land and the sheep are farting. It's also a more important part of the story is the contribution that sheep do to people's health. Being around animals is good to our health, to our mental and psychological health. It creates jobs, it creates money, it creates livelihoods in rural areas, it creates food. So having sheep is part of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. They are really contributing very positively to everything. When it comes to the manufacturing of wool, it's like all other fibers, it has its pros and cons. We're using dyestuffs, we're using water and energy and chemicals and finishings. So it has the same aspects as most other fibers as well. When it comes to scouring wool, like washing it, taking out the grease, now there's a state of the art is to reuse the water, because this has been one of the critical points as well, that we use a lot of water to scour the wool. It's all being recycled, it's biodegradable detergents, etc. And the superwash, which is the herbicide process that you put on the wool to make it washable in the washing machine, is also a process that has been criticized or is under detection to be assessed. But unfortunately, it turns out that at least it doesn't it doesn't add to the microfiber plastic pollution in the ocean. Wool is the perfect fiber, that's the one. I mean, it's perfect to use, it's perfect to wash because you don't have to wash it. You might have come across people who are claiming 100 days wearing the same shirt and not washing it. You can air it, and if you have to wash it, you put it on a cold cycle. So it's definitely the best fiber in terms of laundry and sustainability. I have everything I'm wearing now, actually I haven't washed it for a couple of years. So that's how wool works. It's super, super good. And also when you imagine traveling, you don't need so many things because you don't need to have all that laundry bags in the hotel anymore. It's a wonderful fiber to use. It's mendable. If you know and if you learn from your grandmother how to do mending, wool is a lovely fiber to mend. It lasts long because it's a strong fiber, but maybe most because it's not fiber you get an affection to. You love it. Once you wear it, and you probably all have one wool thing, maybe a sweater typically, or a jacket, that you just love, and you just cannot throw it away. You will pass it on to your daughter, or you have something that you got from your grandfather that you say, this is such a wonderful piece. It ages with beauty, and you just keep on wearing it and wearing it forever and ever. That's one great thing about wool. It's there for really a long time. And when it comes to the end of life, wool is a perfect fiber to be recycled. It has been done for hundreds of years. It's a mechanical process. It doesn't require any new color stuff or dye stuff. It doesn't require any new water or energy. It is a very mechanical thing. It's a handicraft, and especially if you have the possibility to go to Prato in Italy, you will see people doing a really, really good handicraft. Even they can make these most beautiful shades of color just by mixing old woolen garments and recycling it. That's the beauty of upcycling, making new yarns, making new clothes, while downcycling is a bit more not so always so good, because you mix it with other kind of fibers, other textiles, a lot of unknown chemicals, and you make like less valuable materials like insulation for cars, etc. But instead of throwing things away or burning it, it's better that it's being used. But the best thing about wool, in my opinion, is the biodegradability then at the end of life. You can give it back to the soil as a wonderful fertilizer. It contains nitrogen and other important minerals for the soil. So you can really use it, give it back to the earth, give it back to the nature, and then the circle starts again. So it's not going back to becoming a new sheep or a new wool, but it's going back to nature to become food for something new. And that is sustainability. Thank you.